Hello.
Hello.
Yes.
Am I audible?
Yes.
So, you have studied chapter 1, right? Electric charges and fields.
Yes.
Okay. So, apart from 12th syllabus, what are covered in the 12th syllabus. Can you dictate me what have you studied in for
Sir, can you repeat?
chapter 1?
Your voice is breaking.
Can you dictate me what topics have you learned till now in this chapter?
In the first chapter,
Yeah.
in this tuition or in the school?
Electric charges and field, right?
Yeah, in the tuition or in the school, sir.
Okay. So you have studied like Coulomb's law and all. You know the concept of Coulomb's law, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So can you write one question? Uh, uh, First of all, what's your name?
Refer.
Okay. So I'm Atika sir, and I'm teaching since last 10 years for 11, 12, as well as JEE. Okay, physics. So I will be considering you, up to the class 12 you have some knowledge. So apart from that, I will teach you for NEET level questions and concepts as well as JEE level questions and concepts. So are you preparing for this exam or next year?
What?
You all are preparing in NEET or JEE exam this year or next year?
This year.
This year. Okay. All right. So just to check your concepts, I would like to solve you guys one question. So can you please write? You write one question. Two charges Q1 and Q2. Two charges Q1 and Q2 are audible.
Yes, sir.
Two charges Q1 and Q2 are separated by a distance d. Two charges Q1 and Q2 are separated by a distance d. Please stop. Find the minimum possible force
Are separated by a distance d.
d. Please stop. Find minimum possible force acting between these two charges. Find the minimum possible force acting between these two charges. So can you solve it? Try it. Are you guys trying? Am I visible on the video? So you have given another if is equal to k given q2 by d. Anybody else?
Yes, sir.
Anyone else? So uh, who has given answer? I think I cannot see the chat. Yes. Samya has given answer if is equal to k given q2 by d. Okay. What about others? Rifat,
Yes, sir.
can you give answer? Are you trying?
Yeah.
Okay. So let me explain the question. We have two charges q1 and q2 separated by distance d. So I have to find minimum force F minimum force acting between these two charges, right? So Samya has given an answer F is equal to K Q1 Q2 upon D. So can you tell me Samya how you have given this answer? F is equal to K Q1 Q2 by
Sir,
D.
by Coulomb's law,
What Coulomb's law says?
the force between two charges is directly proportional
Hmm.
and inversely proportional to the distance.
We are missing something. The Coulomb's law says the force is directly proportional to product of charges Q1 and Q2 and inversely proportional to square of distance, right? So if you apply Coulomb's law, it should be k q1 q2 by d square, correct? Right or wrong?
Yes, sir.
But here still it is not correct. If I write Coulomb's law also, still this value of force is not correct. That is the difference between board and going beyond board. Okay. So merely generally in board questions are asked like find the force between two charges, and they will give some point of charges, distance, and merely you have to write the formula and you have to find the force. But if you are going beyond board exam, you have to apply some concept. So why this is wrong? Now we are going to understand. So here you have to apply the concept. One concept you might have learned, which concept? Quantization of charge. You may have learned, right? You've heard about this term, quantization of charge.
Yes.
What quantization of charge says? It says that charge on any body is integral multiple of electronic charge. It says or not,
Yes.
where n is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. Correct?
Yes.
So Q1 charge should be like, suppose we have an integral quantity n1 into E, correct? And Q2 should be n2 into E, right or wrong?
Right.
Since quantization of charge says any charge is integral multiple of an elementary charge, it means Q1 must be integral multiple of E, and Q2 must be integral multiple of E. Now, from Coulomb's law, we know that F is equal to K Q1 Q2 upon D square. Correct? Both of you are aiming for JEE exam or NEET exam?
So JEE.
JEE.
JEE. Okay. So, tell you my history, I was also preparing for JEE, and I was qualified for marine engineering in IIT East Chanakya in IIT Mumbai. So, maybe what uh, what to what level students need to study. Someone who has already gone through that phase can understand you better. I know the I have gone through that phase. I have prepared for IIT, so I know what kind of help you need while you study, and what concept you can miss out, and what concept you have to learn. So I will help in through through the learning process. Apart from study, I can also tell you how to study, what concept you should focus more, what way you should take your revisions and concept. I also have publishing experience also, so I'm writing books and all that. So I can help you from content point of view also, which content you should focus more and what way you should revise. Okay. So so here we have the force F is equal to A Q1 Q2 upon D square. Till now you both understood. There is nothing new in that. to this formula you both know. F is equal to K Q1 Q2 by R, right? Now, what we will do? We will put the values. F is equal to K. Value of Q1 can be N1 into E, and value of Q2 is N2 into. Am I audible clearly to both of you?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
If anything you cannot understand in between, you can ask anytime, any question. Like if you have got in any step, any concept, either you have studied or not, you can don't hesitate that I don't know Coulomb's law or something, I don't know quantization. You can ask any type of concept. So here I have written the value of Q1 and Q2, so that will become K N1 N2 E square upon T square, right? So this becomes formula. Now the question says we have to find minimum value, F minimum, correct? So here when you have to find minimum value, separate the constant. We know K is the constant, E square is the constant, D square is the constant. What is variable? N1, N2, isn't it? So for this to be minimum, N1, N2 should be minimum, correct? The
Yes.
value of N1 and N2 should be N1 into N2 should be minimum. What can be minimum value of N1 and N2 apart from 0? We are not taking 0 because if N1 and N2 is 0, obviously product will become 0. So the charge will disappear. So there is no question of force. So we will not take 0 value. So the minimum value, we know that N1 is integer and N2 is integer. Value of N1 is 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. Value of N2 is 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have to choose minimum value of 1. So for N1 minimum value is 1 and for N2 minimum value is 1. So what will be minimum value of N1 and N2? It should be
1.
correct. It should be equal to 1 into 1. So minimum force will be equal to, we can see here, what is the minimum force? K E square by D square into N1. So F minimum K E square by D square into 1. So what is the minimum force between two charges separated by distance T? K E square by, got it? So this is the
Yes, sir.
minimum
Yes.
force between two charges separated by distance, not K Q1 Q2 by D square, because we have to take minimum value of that. So here what concept we have applied? We all know the concept of quantization. We know it, but the matter is how to apply. We have learned concept of quantization of charge, that charge is integral multiple of E. But how to apply and where to apply that? Got it? So here the concept quantization of charge. All right. Any doubt?
No, sir.
Okay. Now we will learn another question which is based on Coulomb's law. So this was the very primary or basic question which I wanted both of you to learn. Now moving to the next question, which is generally necessary for JEE main examination. So suppose we see example number 2. We have two charges. Suppose we have a particle 1 and we have a particle 2, correct? And they are separated by distance x. Alright. Now we have a charge q with us. You have given a charge q. So you have to distribute this charge q among two charges 1 and 2. Correct? You have to distribute this charge q among two charges 1 and 2. I will dictate a question also. First time explaining to you, such that force between 1 and 2 is maximum. Force between 1 and 2 is maximum. So you write the question. You can write, we have given two particles. We have given two particles 1 and 2. We have given two particles 1 and 2. We have given two particles 1 and 2 separated by distance x. Separated by distance x. Full stop. There is a charge q, capital Q. There is a charge q which has to be distributed. There is a charge q which have to be distributed between particles 1 and 2. Between particles 1 and 2, such that force between these particles is maximum. Such that force between these two particles is maximum. Stop. Find charges on particle 1 and 2. Find charges on particle 1 and 2. You both understood the question? Have you written the question?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So have you understood the question, both of you? Or having any doubt?
Understood.
Yes, sir.
So I will explain you once more. We have given charge Q. So we have to distribute the charge on 1 and 2. We have given the distance x between the particles. So you have to distribute the charge capital Q on 1 and 2 such that force between 1 and 2 is maximum. So this is the question. So try yourself, then I will show. Are you trying, Rifat and Samia?
Yes, sir.
Both of you are writing simultaneously when I am teaching. You should write on your notes.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Sir, can you explain the answer?
Okay. So have you got anything?
No.
Anyone? So I told you about we have given there was two particles, right? 1 and 2, and the separation between these two particles were x, and the charge q is distributed between 1 and 2, right? So let us assume that I have given a small charge q to particle 1, right? So what will be charge of 2?
Q.
It should be q minus q, capital Q minus small q, since I have total charge capital Q and a small charge q is given to particle 1. So charge on particle 2 should be capital Q minus small q, right?
Yes.
So what will be the force? Now apply Coulomb's law. The force between 1 and 2 will be, suppose charge on 1 is Q1, and suppose I write charge in 2 is Q. So it should be K Q1 q2 upon x square, right? So it is k by x square. I will write value of q1 as small q and value of q2 as q minus small q. Got it?
Yes.
Okay. So the value of f, I will say it is f12 equal to, suppose I say f, so it is k q into q minus q upon x. Now you are both of you are student of mathematics, so you know that for anything to be maximum, the differential of that quantity should be equal to 0. So for f, for f to be minimum, what should be equal to 0? df by dx should be equal to 0, right or wrong?
Yes.
For f to be minimum, df by dx should be equal to 0, right or wrong? Correct?
Yes.
No, this is not true. df by dx should not be equal to 0. You know, we have to think about variable. Here x is constant. You see, the value of x is constant. It's not changing. What is variable? What is variable? Q. What is variable?
Q.
So we should write df upon, what we should
DQ.
write? Correct. We should write df upon dq. Here students make mistake. We have to differentiate with respect to variable, not constant. Correct. So now you differentiate it. df upon dq. We have to find out df upon dq. So we will take constant outside. I can write d by dq of q, q minus small q upon x. So here I will take constant out. So this, what is the constant? X is constant. So I will take df by dq will be equal to, I will take 1 by x square outside because it is a constant. That will come out to be d by dq small q into q minus small. Correct? Here x will come outside because x is a constant. So it is 1 upon x square d by d. We will multiply q into q minus q square. So 1 by x square. What will be differentiation of this? Q into q What will be the value of this differentiation? D by dq, d by dq of q into q minus d by dq of q is. Till now you both understood? Or we
So, why are we finding out the differentiation?
because we have to apply this condition. For f to be minimum, because we have to take minimum force. We have to find out minimum force, correct?
Yes.
And for anything to be minimum, you have studied in calculus also. For a quantity to be minimum, its differentials should be 0. Are you aware about this concept? You have studied, you might have studied maxima and minima concept. Have you studied that?
No, sir.
So, okay, no issue. Let me explain you. Like, if you have any quantity, like in calculus, when I teach in class 11 itself, I teach this concept. So, suppose you are math, both are mathematics students, right? So, you might have studied calculus also.
What's it?
No, sir.
Okay, no issue. I will explain you here itself. Then I will go to this concept. Okay. So suppose you have a variable, any function. Suppose you have a given any function like y is equal to fx. Correct. So for y, what is x? X is here variable. What is x? X is here variable. So for y to be maximum, for y to be maximum, dy upon dx should be equal to 0. I will explain you by example also. Leave that question separate. We will get back to that question. First time explaining you this question, this thing. Suppose we have a function y is equal to fx, then y will be maximum when dy by dx is equal to 0. Let me give an example. Suppose you have given y equal to fx means, suppose we have given a value y is equal to 2x square minus x. Suppose there is a value like this, y equal to 2x square minus x. Now you have to find, x, correct, such that y is maximum. Getting my point? You might have come across such questions earlier on in class 11. You have to find the value of x such that y become maximum. Are you getting my point?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
So for that, what you will do? For that, what you will do? You will differentiate y. You will put dy by dx equal to 0. What you will do? You will put d by dx equal to 0. It means you will differentiate this one. dy by dx. What will be dy by dx? That will be equal to, so at this point of time, nothing to worry. I will this is being the first class, so I am going through some questions. Then after going through some, what we have studied, I will teach you everything what is needed for the competition from A to Z. Uh, what are the concepts required? I will explain you everything. So you don't worry about your past study, what you have gone through or what you have not. So whenever I find that you have not studied someone, I will explain you from basic concept. Or before starting any new topic, I will ask you number of topics what you have studied or not. Those topics you have not studied, I will explain you first. Then I will go to the question. Is this right with all of you? With both of you? So
Yes, sir.
in this way, we will proceed in coming classes, right? So what we will do? dy by dx will put value of y. So what is the value of y? 2x square minus x. Correct. So in that way, I will separate both the terms dy by dx 2x square minus we will separate both the terms. We will take dy by dx of 2x square and dy by dx of x. So it will come like dy by dx. So what is the differentiation of this? So one thing I believe in, I most of the time I will try to solve question by, when you solve the question by yourself, rather than solving everything on the board, I always try to solve the question through students. So I will generally I will start your I will try to put these habits in you so that you can solve question by yourself. I want to give you one example. Suppose you want to learn to ride bicycle, correct? So if you want to learn bicycle, and what I do, I write on a paper and pencil, on a paper to a pen, and I give you the methods, like to drive a cycle like this. If any vehicle comes, go to the right and left. Can you ride the
No,
bicycle? No. What you have to do? You have to practice yourself. Correct. So that is the my methodology of teaching. I try to give solve question to the students. I give more and more tasks to the student, and I always try that the student solve the questions by themselves, and whenever they can't solve the question, they can ask the doctor. So that is the better way of teaching rather than solving each and every question by myself. I know this question, so when I solve repeatedly any question, what you will get? You will only learn when you will solve the questions yourself, right? So try to solve the questions more and more. You maybe get a wrong answer one first time, second time, but when you solve the question yourself, you will get the idea where you were wrong. Am I correct? So in that
no.
way, learning is better. So here we can go through d by dx of 2x square. So that will come like this. 2 will come out because 2 is a constant. D by dx x square minus dy dx is always 1. If we have same quantity like dy by dy or dx by dx is always 1. So here it will come 2 into differentiation of 2x square. What is differentiation? You know differentiation, both of you? What is the differentiation of x square?
X.
X square differentiation is x. Sami is telling x square differentiation is x. Is it true? Before, what is the differentiation of x square? Before answering this question, let me give you a general formula. The differentiation of x to the power n. You might have written or you know formula. Differentiation of x to the power n is n x to the power n minus 1. Do you know this formula? Differentiation of x to the power n is n x to the power n minus 1.
Yes, sir. It'll be 2x, right?
So in the same way, what will be its value? In place of n, what is the value of n here?
2.
Right or wrong? So here you will write 2 x to the power 2 minus 1. So what will be its value? 2x. Differentiation of x squared is 2x. Got it?
Yes, sir.
So here the value of differentiation of x squared is 2x. And what is the differentiation of x? If differentiation is x is always 1. Correct? So minus. So it comes as 4x minus 1. It is equal to 4x minus 1. Differentiation of y with respect to x is 2. So what was the question? The question was we have to find maximum value of y. We have to find the value of x such that dy by dx becomes maximum. We have to find x such that y becomes maximum. Here we have to find the value of x such that value of becomes maximum. Value of y becomes maximum. So for that, what we did, we differentiated y. That is, we found dy by dx. Then what we will do, we will put dy by dx equal to 0. Then we will find the value of x. For y to be maximum, why I am teaching this? Because this concept will be used in our question Qn minus Q. In that question, the same concept will be used. So here to find maximum value of y, we will put dy by dx equal to. So what was dy by dx? Dy by dx we got 4x minus 1. Dy by dx we got 4x minus 1. So we will put 4x minus 1 equal to 0. So what is the value of x? X will be equal to 0. So for y to be maximum, what is the value of x? It should be equal to 1 by 2. Got it?
Yes,
Got
sir.
this point till
Yes,
now?
sir.
So same concept will be applied here. You were asking why we were finding dy by df by dq, because in this question, you see, here we have the here we have function q into q square, right? Here we have function a small. So for f to be maximum, for f to be maximum, we have to find, for f to be maximum, for f to be maximum, df by dq should be equal to 0. Same concept. That's why we were finding df by dq. So we found df by dq like this. Now what you have to do? You have to find here df by dq. Can you find the value of df by dq and give me the answer? Solve both of you and give me the expression of df by dq. It means after this step, both of you solve and tell me the expression, the value of df by dq. Till here, you both of you got the expression how we reach here.
Yes, sir.
After this, you solve this expression, both of this expression.
Sir, here q into q is a constant.
Yeah, correct. Here capital Q is a constant, so you can take this outside. When you differentiate something, the constant comes out. When you differentiate something, the constant comes out. So what will happen? I am further solving one step. This Q will come out and it will become dq upon d. And what is the value of this differentiation? Can you tell? Q square.
2q.
Very good. This will be 2q. In the similar way as x square, the differentiation of q square will be 2q. So you got df by dq. What is the value of df by dq? We got the value of df upon dq. df upon dq, we got 1 by x square into q into dq upon dq minus 2, right? This expression we got.
Yes.
Yes.
1 by x square is a constant, it is outside. So what is the value of this differentiation? dq by dq. What is
1.
its correct? Its value is 1. It is q into minus. Now for f to be maximum, for this to be maximum, df by dq should be equal to, this is the value of df by dq. For f to be maximum, what is the value of df by dq?
q minus 2q upon x square.
So df by dq should be 0. For f to be maximum, df by dq should be equal to 0. Got it or not?
Yes.
In the same way, like this, for y to be maximum, dy by dx is 0. In the same way, for f to be maximum, df by dq should be equal to 0. Now put the value of df by dq. What is the value of df by dq? 1 by x square q into q into 1. By x square q into 1 minus 2q, right? This should be equal to 0. Got it? This was this value. And x square also. Q into 1 minus 2q. This should be equal to 0. Both of you
Yes,
got
sir.
this point? Okay. So x square will become 0 by going right side. So it will be q minus 2q should be equal to 0. So where what value you got for a small q? Small q should be equal to q by. Got it or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So our aim was to find the charges on both the particles. Charges on both the particles. So here we got charge q is equal to q by 2. It means the charge on particle 1 and 2. We were having two particles. So charge q was given to particle 1 and charge q minus q was given to particle 2. So what is the charge on particle 1? Small q, which is capital Q by 2. What is the charge on particle 2? Q minus a small q minus q by 2. So it should be equal to that. So for force to be maximum, between particle 1 and 2, charge on each particle should be equally divided. Charge on each particle should be equally divided. Understood? Got it?
Yes. Yes, sir.
So
Yes, sir.
for example, suppose you have two particles A and B, and they are separated by suppose 4 meters, and you have to divide charge 20 microcoulomb on A and B such that force between A and B is maximum. What you will do? You will give 10 microcoulomb charge on A and you will give 10 microcoulomb charge on B. Got it?
Yes.
So this is the concept I wanted you to learn. Both of you know Coulomb's law, but here it comes difference how to apply the Coulomb's law. That is the thing. Got it or not? So
Yes,
this
sir.
is the way how we apply Coulomb. We know the concept, we know what is Coulomb's law, we know the quantization of charge. But how to solve, how to apply these concepts in the question, that matters. Got it or not? So this is the thing how we proceed in question. You have to apply each and every concept in that. So these were two basic questions based on Coulomb's law. Now what I will do, I will teach you. So first of all, I will go one by one. I will start from very first topic, quantization of basic property of charge. We start first. Uh, uh, you know, the first chapter we start from properties of charges. So I will summarize each and every topic first. Then I will go up to NEET and JEE question. And in that, after going through the basic level theory, which you all know, I will summarize that. Then first I will teach you the basic theories required for competition, right? And then I will give you questions. Got it?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So if we talk about the chapter first, that is electric charges and chapter first, which is your electric charges and right, electric charges electric charges and so basically the basic thing. So now I understood up to what level you have studied till now, and according to that I will go beyond step by step. So you will learn everything and which is required for competition. You both have gone through the board exam, right? I think it was uh, on 20th. Your papers were on 20th, right? So in this chapter, basically you have studied basic properties of charge. First, you have studied what is charge. Apart from that, before that, I would like to know something, some more concepts also, like two things. Both of you know about, this chapter comes under electrostatic. Know that electrostatics? What does mean electrostatics? We divide electricity in two parts. We divide electricity in two parts. One electrodynamics and one electrostatic and second electrodynamics. So in electrostatics, what we study? We study charges at rest. What we study? Charges at rest. Am I audible, both of you?
Yes, sir.
Charges at rest. So what does it mean? It means whenever we will study this, what concept we are learned, or what concept we are applying, all will be related to charges. And there will not be any movement of charge. Only we will have static charges. Static charge, right? So then after electrostatic, you studied about charge. What was charge? Charge was its inherent property. What is it? Inherent property. So I will give you summary of the chapter. Then I will go to the JEE and advanced. So inherent, what is charge? Charge is inherent property. Charge is inherent property which is responsible for electrostatic forces. Which is responsible for electrostatic forces. Which is responsible for electrostatic forces. Got it? Both of you know?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
We denote charge by capital Q or small. You can denote by capital Q or small q. And you both of you know the unit of charge, that is coulomb or micro. Generally we use micro coulomb, but SI unit of charge is coulomb. So both of you know this basic concept which you have learned in the very first starting of the chapter. Got it?
Yes, sir.
Both of you are aware with this. Then you have studied about property of charges. So first you have studied additive property of charge. That is, first you have studied about property of charges. So basic property you have learned. Additive property. I will dictate you. Is I need to write everything? Basic
No,
concept
sir.
I will dictate you, right? So that you can summarize the concept. So you have studied about additive property. Additive property means charge of each and every object is algebraic sum of individual charges. Total charge on any object is algebraic sum of individual charges, right? Second, you have studied about additive property of charge. Then you have studied about quantization of charge, which I have explained you earlier also. Quantization of charge was charge is always integral multiple of elementary charge. So first you have studied additive property of charge, that is charge on any object is sum of individual charges. Second property you have learned is quantization of charge, that is charge is integral multiple of elementary. Apart from that, uh, then you were basis on that I have explained you the Coulomb's law. One more question I would like to give you from this quantization of charge. So suppose you have given the charge of an object is, suppose you have given the charge on an object as 8 into 10 to the power minus 10 coulomb. Suppose charge on an object is 8 into 10 to the power minus 10 coulomb. So this is based on quantization of charge. We were coming to the property quantization of charge, and you have given the charge of an object as 8 into 10 to the power minus 10. So using the property of quantization of charge, you have to tell, is this charge possible or not? Is such kind of charge possible on an object or not? Understood my question?
Sir, can you repeat?
We were going through the property quantization of charge, which you both of you know that charge on any object is integral multiple of elementary charge. Correct? Now,
Yes, sir.
now you have given that charge on an object based on this quantization of charge. You have given a question that charge on an object is 8 into 10 to the power minus 10 coulomb. You can write the question. It will be better. You can write the question. Right? Suppose charge on an object. Suppose charge on an object is Q equal to, Suppose charge on an object is Q equal to 8 into 10 to the power minus 10 coulomb. Suppose charge on an object is 8 into 10 to the power minus 10 coulomb. Just stop. If this charge, if this amount of charge, if this amount of charge is possible, if this amount of charge is possible. So you have to tell, is this charge possible or not? How you will know this charge is possible or not? How you will know? Think about it. Try one for 1 minute or 2 minutes, then I will tell you the solution. You have to check whether this charge of an object is possible or not. This is very basic question of quantization. Even the first question I teach in class will be quantization. How you will check? Can you tell me, Samya or Rifat? Anyone?
So should we use the formula Q is equal to NE?
Then
Uh, then we can use the charge of electron 1.6 into
yeah, that is true. You are going good. But after that, what you will find? I understood you will apply Q is equal to NE. But what you want to find? So in the formula, Rifat,
Yes.
can you answer what you will find by applying this formula? See, we know the quantization formula. Q is equal to N. Correct? Q is equal to N. In this formula, N, what is the value of N? It is integer. It is integer. Right or wrong? So, charge on any object is integral multiple of E. Right or wrong? Charge on any object is integral multiple of E. So, the value of N should be integer. The value of N should be integer. Correct or not? If value of N is not integer, then that kind of charge is not possible. So what we will do? We will put the value of Q. We will put the given value of Q. We will put the value of E. Then we will find the value of N. If N comes as integer, then that charge is possible. If N does not come as integer, then that kind of charge is not possible. Both of you got it?
Yes, sir.
So
Yes, sir.
find the value of N, put the value of Q and find the value of N.
Sir, it is possible.
How it is possible?
The final value is an integer.
How much value you have got for N?
5 into 10 raised to 9.
Correct. This is an integer, so this value of charge is possible. If it could have been like 8.1 or something, then the charge would have not been possible. Got it or not? Because it is completely divisible by 1.6 into 10 to minus 9. Have you got Rifat?
Yes, sir.
The value of Q is N into we will put N into E. We'll put value of Q as 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 9. And then we'll put value of E. That is 1.6 into 10 to the power minus. Sorry, it is minus 10. The charge is given as minus 10.
Sir, it's 8 into, right?
So we will put the value of Q. It is 8 into 10 to the power minus 10. So here we will get the value of that is 8. It will come as plus. Both of you understand this? We divide by 1.6 into 10 to minus 19. It will go to the numerator as plus, right? So 80 minus Therefore, this charge is positive because this is integer. If it could have come in fraction like 5.2, 5.3, then this charge could have not been possible. Got it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now let me give you we are remaining with 5 minutes only. So just for mathematics fun, I wanted to give you a quiz type question. This is not related to the fire like notes now. Just for mathematics fun. Sometimes I give some extra concept or like something. So you have heard generally like x to the power 0. What is the value of it? What
1.
is its value? X to the power 0. Can you tell?
Sir, it's 1.
It's 1. Why it is 1?
Sir, anything raised to 0 will be 1.
Why it is 1?
I don't know, sir.
Because do you know you are 12? Both of you are in class 12, right?
It's raised to 0. So
Why it is 1? We generally had x to the power 0, 1, cos 0 is 1, cos 90 is 0. So like I will explain you everything, but why first of all I wanted to know why this is x to the power 0. In daily I think at every 1 or 2 steps or on daily basis you are coming across these terms to the power 0, 5 power in mathematics frequently you come across this x to the power 0. Why this is 1? So let me explain. Like it is x power 0. This is not Coulomb's law, right? Just for sake of some mathematical thing or some sharpen your concept or something. If you think in that way, I wanted you to think everything in that way so that you can think from competition point of view, the things which are coming ahead. So like if you have x to the power 0, so you can write this like suppose any number, like suppose you can write p minus p, right? You can write it on
Yes,
anything
sir.
0, you can write it like p minus p. So what you can give, you can write is x to the power p divided x to the power. You can give it or not? Can I
Yes.
write like this? So what will be its value?
1.
Got it or not?
Yes, sir.
So this is the reason. So you can ask someone, your friends or something, write it well. Most of the time we know so the 0 is 1, but we don't think why it is 1. Why cos 0 is 1? Why sin 90 is 1? What you don't know.
Yes.
So this is the way. So I am all done with today's class. So these kind of fun and facts in time to time, I will give you some related to physics, some maths, some kind of things. So I will wrap up with this today's class. The next class you have on Thursday, right?
Yes, sir. I think.
Okay. So then after we will go beyond the Coulomb's law. I will add some basic concepts. I will teach you some basic concepts. Then after that, we will come to the competition sections and more concepts. All right. So with
Okay,
this, I'm ending today's class. Okay.
okay, sir. Thank
You
you.
have
thank you, sir.